Volkswagen has begun its journey toward becoming an all-electric automaker, and its U.S. leg kicks off with its first purpose-built electric utility vehicle, the ID.4. This is a compact crossover that's a little bit smaller than a Volkswagen Tiguan. It costs around $41,000 or $33,500 after you deduct the $7,500 federal tax credit it qualifies for. It has a unique but not too outrageous look for a Volkswagen. While the interior has a hint of retro futurism with the white steering wheel and trim, it's kind of like being on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. Aside from the window switches, the controls are all touchpads and this touch screen. They're not always that responsive. There are also a few quirks, like the controls for the climate system being on the touch screen, but the defoggers being over here to the left of the steering wheel, right next to the two window switches, which have a button to make them operate the rear ones. There also isn't a traditional gear selector on the center console, just these cup holders in this compartment with a wireless smartphone charging pad. Instead, to get going, you have to twist this knob connected to the instrument cluster. At low speeds, this emits a UFO sound so people can hear you coming because, of course, as an electric car, it's very quiet. It's not tremendously powerful. It has 201 horsepower, but even though it weighs about 1,000 pounds more than a conventional vehicle this size, it moves just as quickly as one does. According to the EPA, the ID.4 can go up to 250 or 260 miles per charge, the latter being the most at this price point. It's also the largest electric vehicle you can get at the price with the tax credit factored in. Of course, charging is always the issue with electric cars, and this one can be filled up to 80% in under 40 minutes at one of the Electrify America stations that Volkswagen is building across the country as part of its settlement for the diesel emissions scandal. The good news is the ID.4 comes with 3 years of charging on that network for free. The bad news is there's only 569 stations so far across America, which is about half as many as Tesla has supercharger stations. The thing is, once you drive this for a while and get used to the different power delivery, it becomes a very conventional experience, and I think Volkswagen won't have too much trouble getting current owners into one of these, especially if they have a home to plug it into. In the 2021 Volkswagen ID.4, Gary Gastelum, Fox News.